Fakes left, now taken off. Gonna run for it, got it! And there he goes to the 6 and the 10 to 5. Oh, the play of the year in the NFL.
All right, everyone, we're back here with episode 3 of the Buds Mafia podcast. The mood's definitely going to be a bit depressed today, especially on my partner's side. We both are definitely sad, but we got to get through it. We're gonna build up to it. We're gonna just slowly
going back to Buds and Bucks.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some other stuff first. Kind of let that slow burn, kind of go on. But we're gonna quickly start with the national championship. Surprisingly, both our bets of the week or locks of the week hit, so we are 1-1. Which, hey, if you told me for the beginning of it, we'd be 1-1. I'll take that all day.
Yeah,
I completely forgot what mine was. I think it was Jeremiah Smith, Will Howard, or Jeremiah Smith anytime. Will Howard like 250, and Riley Leonard I think 200. Riley Leonard hit his pretty early. Jeremiah Smith, I think, scored in the first or second quarter. Will Howard was scaring me because then they were running the ball, obviously because the game got a little bit tighter. But then that 50-yard absolute bomb to, I think it was Jeremiah Smith in the last 5 minutes kind of sealed that bet for me. Definitely tighter than I thought it was going to be. It definitely looked like after the first half that Ohio State was just going to run away with it. I think they're up by 2 scores. But Notre Dame made it a game. But I think it kind of ended the way everyone thought it was going to end.
Yeah, I wanted to pick Notre Dame, and I think my lock of the week was Jeremiah Smith, anytime touchdown scorer, Riley Leonard, anytime touchdown scorer, and is something else with yards. I feel bad for Notre Dame fans, but Georgia was just always better. Or not Georgia, Ohio State. I'm going to struggle to put stuff together. Anyway,
next week will definitely be better, but it's such a depressing pod today.
I think overall, Notre Dame even getting there is huge for the program, for the actual Notre Dame's program.
It was a great game.
Riley Leonard's good, and they made it a game. You can't. Jeremiah Smith literally could go. He's a freshman.
The fact that he has 2 more years left, and I think he's already been offered $4 or $5 million to enter the portal. He's a joke, and
don't get me started on the portal. I hate the portal. I don't dislike it, but they should not allow players to switch before the end of the season or transfer.
Oh, really? I didn't even know
that was the backup Penn State quarterback transferred right before Penn State played, I think, Notre Dame.
Right. Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah, okay.
And Penn State literally arguably could have won that game. I still don't think anybody's beating Ohio State, and I still don't care. Ryan Day, your season...
You hate Ryan Day.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
He's okay. I just don't like his personality. Obviously, he's a good coach. They won the national championship. They lost, 1 game? But who's that 1 game to?
Oregon.
Michigan. Oh, they lost 2 games.
Yeah, that's Oregon. Games. They lost a good game, and then they got smacked by Michigan.
They didn't get smacked. They lost by a field goal.
But never mind then. Fuck. Struggling.
Yeah, it was a horrible game.
Yeah.
It was a horrible. I think the final was 13-12. In and around there.
Yeah.
No one could throw Michigan doesn't have a passing game, and
I'm pretty sure Ohio State were 20-point favorites going to that game.
They were massive favorites. They were 21.5 point favorites. Yeah,
21 of that. Yeah, it was nuts.
It was ridiculous. Ohio State, you get your flowers. You won a national championship. You still have seniors and people who have gone through your entire program who have never beaten Michigan. So, you know what? Ohio State is the new Buffalo Bills, and Michigan is the new Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm taking one on the chin there, but fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If only the Bills could go on and win a Super Bowl after losing to the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I want to end the national championship talk with, how many Jesus thanks do you think you should be allowed? I don't know if you listened to the post-game championship for Ohio State. Will Howard, I think, hey, Rob, I don't get political. Thank whoever the hell you want. They say, hey, we love the big man upstairs. But Will Howard, I think, thanked Jesus 3 to 4 fucking times. And then they would switch to, is it Zach Sauer, the linebacker or the edge rusher or whatever?
Jack Sawyer. He thanked 3 times. They brought every single person that was handed a fucking mic. Their first thing was thanking Jesus. Which, hey, I don't want to just what my
shit on someone's faith, but it's just
My
It's
favorite
so
thing
many
about that
times.
is Fox News will take
Snooze.
it. Fox News will take it and be like, players thanking Jesus, America is back. It's so good. It kills me. And then CNN will run with the title, Players Thanking Jesus, What is Wrong with Our Country? No, I don't know. Like, it was a good game. I never saw. The only way Notre Dame was winning is if their defense could get Jeremiah Smith under control and keep him to one touchdown. You got, what, 3? 2 or 3?
At least two. But yeah, and he had, I don't know, 150 yards or something. Fucked.
Yeah, it was gross. I don't know. It was good. Like, I think they're going to tweak the format for next year a little bit because at the end of the day, like the way that it was done, it was way more fun to watch. But I think it was the least viewed national championship in a ton of years because by the time they're playing, you now have divisional round games. Yeah. Like, I got home on the Monday after the Bills played the Ravens and said to you at work, I was like, man, I forgot the national championship was tonight.
And it's like, national championship on New Year's Day was pretty sick. I'll say that. So they got to fix something there. I like the format. I like what they're doing with it all. But I think timing and I think the seating needs to be a bit better as well.
Revert back to what they did last year and fast track it because the national championship wasn't New Year's Day. It was always the 2 semifinal games was like New Year's Eve. And then the national championship was the Monday after, which was always like January 6th or 7th.
Right.
So I like it that way because by the time you're doing it that way, like it's not too far into the NFL postseason. But at the end of the day, like there's so much other shit on TV. Like you got Monday Night Hockey, like you got so much football going on that, you know, it took a hit. Plus too, like you really like Ohio State is just really gigantic. And I'm probably gonna piss off a lot of people, but like it's gigantic in Ohio. And there's obviously riders everywhere, but you know, like the history of Notre Dame, obviously the history of Ohio State and the people that come out of Ohio State, crazy.
Yeah.
But the history of Notre Dame, like they have a literal entire movie about their football program, Rudy. It's one of the best football movies ever. So, you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the national championship. Should we move on to hockey before we get to the upset here?
Yeah.
So one of the biggest trades I've ever seen in hockey history, arguably, or at least in my age, obviously there's some big blockbusters in the 90s and 80s and all that, but Mikko Rantanen coming up UFA this upcoming offseason from the Colorado Avalanche, who was traded to the Carolina Hurricanes in a 3-team trade. So Carolina got Mikko Rantanen and Taylor Hall. Chicago got a 3rd rounder and are paying Rantanen 50% of Rantanen's contract. And Colorado got Jack Drury, Martin Necas, and I don't think they got a pick involved. But I really like the trade for both of the main teams in Carolina and Colorado. Similar, well, it's not similar. Like Leaf fans have been pissing me off. It's similar, but not to the Marner situation. Rantanen doesn't have a move clause, and they were so far apart in contract negotiations. I heard Elliot Friedman tweeted he heard that the last deal offered, the highest they were going to go was 11.75, which I mean is a lot. His market value was definitely higher than that, I would say. For back-to-back 100-point getter, 50 goals, Stanley Cup champion, all that. I mean, he's top 5 in points right now. But I think it's smart. You know for a fact you're not gonna get that contract. You know for a fact he probably wants 13 and a half, whatever, probably pushing 14. Him and Draisaitl have the same agent. You know you're not going to sign him, so even though you're a top 5 team, he's a top 5 player, I think it's smart to just not lose him for nothing. You get Necas, who's top 15 in points, Jack Drury, who's a former first-rounder. It's ballsy by Carolina, but I love it for their side too. Their issue in the past has always been they don't have a superstar. Now they got one. Obviously, you don't guarantee he's going to re-sign, but he's friends with Sebastian Aho, probably the second best Finnish player in the world. So I like the deal for both sides. I don't know what the fuck Chicago's doing. Dude, you traded their second best player for a 3rd rounder, and you're paying 50% of Rantanen's contract. I understand you have no salary cap issues. It's the last year of the contract, but that was definitely a slap in the face to Bedard, I would say.
Did you see? I was gonna say, did you see what Bedard said? He's like, yeah.
Give him something to fucking play with.
Yeah. Well, dude, I love Taylor Hall.
He said he would love to stay. He thinks they're building something. Obviously, they're shit right now, but like, if you have someone who says they want to stay on a bottom 2 team in the NHL, fucking keep him. If you're only getting a third, like I'm not saying a third is actually decent value in hockey, but if you're just getting a third for a player that can just keep Bedard happy and keep his point production up, it's like, fuck me. Like, you're just like digging this kid a grave. Like, when are you gonna get better? Like, their roster, like, they have some good prospects and they're gonna draft well again. Like, you're not sniffing playoffs next year unless you kind of entice. Even though I do think they are a dark horse for Mikko Rantanen, just because they have so much cap room, play with Bedard, and they can offer him whatever he wants. If you want 15 or 4, like, they'll give him that. But I don't know. I don't know what the fuck Chicago's doing. I don't get
it. I feel like Taylor Hall is such a character culture guy that, like, I don't know. It seems dumb, in my opinion. Like,
very dumb.
I think for Colorado, like, obviously McKinnon was a little bit taken aback by it, but, like, at the end of the day, he's still going to play gross. Like, McKinnon's still nasty, right? And
then again, a Nature's guy, he has 55 points in like 40 games, and he's playing on a better team now. So it's just like, I mean, and he signed a bridge deal because there was a big controversy he might be traded for Pettersson last offseason. He signed a 2-year, $7 million deal or something like that. So I mean, you have him this year at $7 million and next year at $7 million. So you gain salary cap capital. And now you can make another move or whatever. His first, you hear what happened in his first game in Boston? He played that next day, and they lost like 3-1, and he was like a -3. But you can't really expect him to play well. It's kind of a shitty situation. Rantanen looked great in the red and white, but I don't know. I think it's a ballsy move for both teams. I like it for Colorado. It was definitely a panic move, in my opinion. I think they want to get it done sooner rather than later. Even though, do you see what Rantanen said to the Finnish news recently or whatever? He said he was willing to go under his market value and willing to make out a deal, which his market value was probably, like I said, like 13.2, something like that. Like, he's a superstar. He's one of the best players in the league. So I think so maybe thinking 12.5.
I was going to say, even if they came back at 12.25, like, you know, like, you could easily go back and forth between it, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seemed when it happened and you texted me, I was dying because I immediately started reading articles trying to figure out. I was like, I know Mikko Rantanen, but I do not know him that well that I need to fucking know him better.
He's a very undercover superstar. Like, if there was no McKinnon on his team, I'm sure he'd get more of the limelight, but when
is Landeskog coming back to the Avalanche? Like, is there any timeline?
I don't know. I kept hearing most likely this year, but yeah, I don't know. That's definitely a guy that could be huge for that team, but he like destroyed his knee, so I don't know. He's skating. He skates every day, but I don't think he's coming back. I think Colorado, I think they're just thinking of Makar. Makar's contract ends in 2 years, and he makes far below his contract value. He makes like $9 million a year. So they're probably thinking like, hey, we're going to pay this guy 15 probably at that time. Because again, salary cap is getting more and more, right? So he's going to make like 15, and he's the best defenseman in the league, or one of him, or Quinn Hughes, I would say. But yeah, again, probably one of the biggest trades. I looked at the history of like kind of biggest trades in the past few years. Obviously, there was the Tkachuk trade. Obviously, there was the Eichel trade. There's Joe Thornton back in the day. But fuck, man, this was one of the biggest trades I've seen in recent history. And it's a good one. It's a good one where so far, it's pretty even both sided. Where in the past, I think we've seen kind of teams get hosed, but I think as of now, I think it's a fair deal.
Chicago getting fucking
fuck Chicago. It's brutal. All right, let's jump over the Leafs. So last time we saw it, they were playing Tampa that night on Amazon Prime. 1-5-3. Pappy still dominating. No wonder there. Nylander, another breakaway goal. Marner, two-way dominance. I mean, obviously they've been on a skid recently, but that was a good game. Beat a top Atlantic team. So I looked this up. So they haven't won a division title since 1999-2000. Besides the North Division COVID, I'm not including that. Like an actual full year, like they haven't won a division title. They've never won the Atlantic since it's formed the Atlantic, because it's formed around. I mean, I think that at one point they had like Detroit in their division, or a while ago. Then they moved back, so whatever. But yeah, did you catch that, the Toronto Tampa game?
Yeah, man. Fucking Willie just sits at the opposite blue line and just waits. Like,
yeah.
It's ridiculous the amount of breakaways this guy has had over the last 5 games. It's crazy. So funny. It's to the point where the commentators are even like, Nylander on a breakaway again. It's like, man.
If you
Marner's
could
been
bet
playing-
how many breakaways a guy would have, I don't know if you can. His odds for like just like one a game or 0.5, 1.5 would be like minus 400. Like he would get it every single game.
It's ridiculous. And Marner's been playing great, and so has Bobby McMahon. I really like the way that he's playing. And you know what? Nick Robertson hasn't scored in a while, but the way that he's playing,
he's making chances. He's generating chances. I like
he's generating chances. I like how he's playing. He just needs to like. There's times where he pulls the trigger right away, and you know it's like, okay, probably not the best shot, but at least you took a shot on goal.
Yeah.
There's other times where he holds on to it too long, gets too deep in the end, and then it's like, well, now you're crushed and you got no help. So it's kind of a back and forth, but overall, like other than the last 2 games, they've been playing pretty well.
They're just so banged up. Like they lost 5-1 to Columbus. One of those games just washed out. Yeah, just a horrible game. They outshot them like crazy, at least in the first half of the game. Nylander, another breakaway. Didn't score this time. Matthew's stick penalty was hilarious.
That was so funny.
It's so dumb though. Like these guys, they know the rules. I know they know the rules. You can't pick up a goalie stick. It's always known that, or at least if you know hockey, you know you can't pick up a goalie stick.
His comment after the game, guess I better read the rule book. Like, come on, dude.
But yeah, just kind of a wash of a game. Again, and then losing Nyes in that game stinks. He tried to hit Marchenko. I don't know if you kind of noticed him. He's probably one of those underrated players the entire game.
He's been
nasty.
Playing crazy good.
He's been carrying it. They put him with Fantilli. Fantilli had a hat trick, hometown kid. They've been playing great together.
I've loved watching Fantilli since he was on that World Junior team. Like, he is so fun to watch.
University of Michigan, he was dominant. He had like 70 points.
Yeah, ridiculous. Like, I don't know. It was just a horrible game. I texted you. I turned it off and I was in bed.
Yeah, it was just one of those games that you just wipe away. But then big Saturday night game, Toronto, Ottawa. It was exciting at times. Did you see the stands?
Yeah, it was insane.
It was, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even trying to exaggerate or piss Ottawa fans off. Or even actually, I will. I don't give a fuck. It was probably like 70-30 minimum Leafs fans. It was insane how many Leaf chants going on there were. I
turned the game on when the Leafs were in Ottawa's end. And I didn't realize because they had ozone. They were in the offensive zone for like a good 30, 45 seconds. By the time the puck got to center, it took my brain a second to actually realize that they were in the Senators arena.
It's crazy.
The Senators logo in middle ice. That's what happens when you have an arena that is fucking 7 million kilometers away from your city.
Like I went to school in Carleton, which is in Ottawa, and me and my friend Nick Peer, a friend of the program, I think. Actually, I don't even know. We lived together for a year, and we went to a Toronto season opener, which was Ottawa's home opener. We paid only like $80 for it, which was actually not bad. But we had to bus there. We took 3 different buses, and then had to walk, and the total trip was close to 2 hours. Because again, if you're taking buses, it's just they're stopping all the time, right? It's not like there's no one transit bus that goes straight to the game. You got to figure out your routes and everything. It's just a pain in the ass. It's so nice that they're building that arena or trying to build that arena in Gatineau. I can't remember the name of the actual district, but it's going to be perfect for them because they do have fans. I love chirping Ottawa, but they do actually have fans. But also when it's Ottawa fans, they resell their tickets. It's not that Toronto fans are getting it quicker. It's Ottawa, they buy it cheap, and then like a Toronto fan like, hey, I'll buy this for $200 because our home games are like $500, right? Yeah, so I don't blame Ottawa fans for selling them, but that's what's going to happen. You can't get mad at it when it's 70-30% Toronto fans.
Yeah. No, I don't know. If you want to play devil's advocate too, it's hilarious because fucking if you drive to a Leafs game, it's like 2 hours from Burlington. But the nice thing is we got the GO train. Like, I don't know. It was so funny. I went on a ski trip. I had never seen the actual Senators arena. I went on a ski trip with my dad and my brother a few years ago. And we were driving on the highway and I look and I'm like, what arena is that? My dad's like, the Senators. I was like, are we in Ottawa? And he's like, close. Close.
I guess it's just a 40-minute drive to the arena is crazy. Like, that's nuts.
I don't know. Dude, the Battle of Ontario, every single time they play Ottawa, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like when they play the Canadians, you know it's going to be a tough game. And you know that it's going to be, like, okay, that Nick Cousins hit on Quillen. Like,
what are your thoughts on that? We might have different thoughts, but what do you think on that hit?
Like, I don't think he intentionally put his leg out. I rewatched it a few times, And Quillen obviously tried to get out of the way, but in his first game, it just sucks so bad. And then obviously the cameras immediately panned to his parents.
I was saying, panned to the mom, and she's just shitting herself. I felt horrible. But yeah, my thoughts on it is I hate Nick Cousins. He's probably my least favorite player in the league. He is so dirty. He's a player that teams need, obviously, but I just hate him so much. But yeah, to me, it's he went for the hit. Quillen tried to get out of it, and their knees collided. I mean, I don't think it was very dirty, in my opinion. Obviously, these fans thought it was the worst hit they've ever seen. I don't think it was very dirty. Obviously, they see Nick Cousins, and they think it was dirty. And obviously, the first game, but I didn't think it was that bad. And I'm happy to see he got up and he kept playing. He actually played pretty good, too. I liked the way he played.
He did play well. Like, Cousins took the worst of it, to be quite honest.
He couldn't stand. He could not
stand. No, like... Which, dude, watching those hits in hockey versus like a knee on knee in football or rugby hurts a lot. But watching those hits in hockey, it's just something more to it.
Yeah, it's just, but yeah, Wool played great. I think Wool's definitely kept us in there for a bit. I'm pretty sure, like, if Marner didn't touch that puck, it wasn't going in on the second goal. It bounced over him and it landed and it like almost sat on the red line. And when he tried to drag it out, I feel like he wafted in a way that kind of pushed it back. But of course, and then they Marner on social media. But I don't know. I'm pretty confident if he didn't touch that puck, it may not have gone in. But yeah, it's also a play when you see it there, you gotta quickly do something, and it's just like fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, overall, they haven't been playing horribly. It's just it seems to be it's like this is the Leafs every year. It's like a quick good spurts, and then out of nowhere it's just like shit.
They got a tough schedule before our next pod. So they play Minnesota Wednesday, who top team in the West. They have Kaprizov back. I think last time we played we lost in overtime. I think that was a while. I think it was back in like November. Then Saturday, Toronto Edmonton. I can't remember the last time they played. I think Toronto won last time they played, but McDavid's back from suspension. Edmonton is humming on all cylinders right now. Draisaitl's probably the MVP, or at least right now he's probably the MVP. I need to ask your opinion. So I got roasted on Twitter because a recent clip, as I usually do, a recent clip of Craig Button came up where he said the talk of Austin Matthews being the number one player or top player in the league needs to stop because he's not even the Leon Draisaitl. So I'm a diehard Leafs fan, but I also feel like I'm a very honest Leafs fan. I don't think I'm very biased. I can be, obviously, but I feel like I understand what people are saying. To me, I think Leon is better than Matthews. I know that may cause some stir, but I think Leon is better than Austin Matthews, in my opinion.
I mean, I think overall, if you look at it from this year, too, like, Leon's played more games. Matthew obviously dealt with the injury. But I think the chemistry between Leon and McDavid is far superior to Matthews and Marner.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's what makes the difference. Like,
yeah,
if you have that one person, like Matthews and Marner are really good, and they have their little fucking click before the game where they just pass each other the puck and then go around the ice like they're buddies, which I love the Leafs. But McDavid and Draisaitl is just like when you're playing on a line with one of those guys and you are literally consider him one of your best friends, which I'm sure Matthews probably considers Marner one of his best friends, but like, there's something different.
And it's just, people say, if Matthews gets hurt a lot, it's like, okay, well, the best ability is availability. Like, you know what, Leon plays, and if you look at Leon's playoff numbers, he's won rounds for Edmonton when McDavid was, quote-unquote, not playing his best, which is still, like, point a game. And again, they both have an MVP. Obviously, Matthews has more Rocket Richards, but it's all-time points, playoff numbers. You obviously maybe Matthews' defense. He's a very good defensive side centerman as well. I think it's so close, like it's almost like a coin flip. But I think if you have to say someone, I would say Leon. And people say, we'll put Matthews with McDavid. But it's like, okay, well, put Draisaitl with Nylander, Tavares, and Marner. So it's just like they both have these variables. And to me, I just think Leon is a tad bit better, but not by a lot.
I mean, I don't know. When it all really matters is in the playoffs, and let's just hope the Leafs don't choke and Matthews can put it together.
Yeah. Before we move over to the football, did you see my recent post about that AFP Analytics Twitter page I was talking about?
No, I didn't.
So there's this analytics Twitter account, and they basically talk about all sports analytics. They're the real nerds of the game, which we love. They posted a Google Sheets where they took all statistics of projection, comparison to other players, where the market value is, all like hundreds of stats, and they predicted what each UFA and RFA's coming season will make. And I thought it was very interesting. So they put Rantanen at 13.2 for 8 years. If that's the case, Colorado can't pay that. Again, they offered 11.75, which with the salary cap going, he made like 9.2 before, 9.2, 11.7. That's not that much of an increase with the salary cap kind of going up. They have Marner at 8 times 12.2, which if he was offered that, I would sign that immediately. I think that's a very good contract. Again, with the salary cap going up, him making like 10.8 last time, I think that's a very fair deal. And I don't think, again, people are trying to compare these two situations. First off, Dubas fucked us. Marner has a no trade clause. So again, we can't trade him if we wanted to. Brandon had nothing. They could have done whatever they wanted. And Marner wants to stay and they want to sign him, and I just don't think they're in a rush. And I think they were honest saying we want to wait till the playoffs. If you have a great playoffs but we're out in round one, but you did your part, then yeah, we'll give you maybe even 13, right? So
that's fair.
I think if we give him 12, I'll do that instantly.
I think giving him a full year under Berube as well is important, because even just you can tell, like, his game he's always been physical, but you can even tell with a lot of the other guys of how physical their game has gotten as compared to Keith. Like Keith's a good coach, don't get me wrong, but there's an extra added level of intensity with
for sure. Well, like Matthews, he's throwing the body around which he should. He's a monster. He's like 6'3", 6'4", like 225. Like, he's a monster out there.
It's a big boy.
But yeah, and for the other Leafs, obviously Tavares, a UFA, they have him at like a 3-year, 7.5, which again, I would take that. He's having arguably one of his best years ever. Obviously, injuries sucks. And again, if you're like, oh, 7, like he's going to get older and older. But again, he's making 11.5 right now. Salary cap going up, and we're going to pay him like $5 million less. I think you take that deal. Again, it's one of those deals where, yeah, not last year, people are going to judge it when he's like 36, 37, but it's like, okay, I think it's a great deal. And they had Nye at 3 years for like $4 million a year, kind of a bridge deal. I don't think they can afford a long-term deal for him right now. That's probably why it's a bridge deal. Like, realistically, if you get him for an 8 times 8, I would do that immediately, but I just don't think they can fit that in right now. So I think a bridge deal at 3 times 4 would be awesome. Another guy who I think a huge step up this year, his injury is concerning. I think it's his shoulder. Because the way he hit Marchenko, he just bounced right off, which Nye is a big boy. You don't really see him get bounced off that often.
That's a tough look for him. No, yeah, I don't. It's a tough look for him, especially like the play earlier this season where he absolutely ran over, I think it was Dougie Hamilton. They're playing.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. That was insane.
Ran over Dougie Hamilton. Took the putt all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right, you ready to talk about football? Do you want to quickly just talk about the NFC Championship here?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I thought it was a great game. Until the Eagles kind of ran away with it. Like, I sat down to watch it. We got back from the cottage. I sat down to watch it, and I was like, I think it's going to be a bit of a toss-up. I think the Eagles are going to run away with it. And the Commanders' first drive, like, I love what Dan Quinn did. Like, when he came in, it was like, all right,
Dan Quinn.
4th and 2, whatever. Go for it. 4th and 2 on, like, either their 50 or no, it was the Eagles like 45. Like, I love that. And then 4th and 3, go for it, love it. I did not love that they settled for the field goal. I was like, you already.
Tom Brady even said, like, he's like, hey, you've been doing it perfectly every time. I think were they 4th and 2, 4th and 3 again?
4th and 2 or 4th and 3 again. And like, I understand it's playoffs and you want the points, and first time like head coach playoffs, like, yes, 100%.
I'm pretty sure they were the best 4th down team entering the playoffs too, or at least throughout the whole season. I'm pretty sure they said too.
They were one of them, yeah.
Or one top 5 or something, yeah.
It was them and the Lions, but yeah, like, I don't know. That was the only thing I didn't love. And then I said to my dad, I was like, first play, toss to Saquon. It's going to be a 70-yard touchdown. First play, bounce off 2 defenders. Made the Washington. that was the tone-setting play of the game where I was like, oh, this is going to be a blowout. Like, the way he bounced off those two defenders, spun around, and went the rest of the way, I was like, good God, arguably the best trade free agent signing ever. Like,
3 touchdowns.
Ridiculous.
55-23 the final score was. And Eagles were 6-point favorites. I think we both had last week. I think we both said, I thought the Commanders were going to win. Again, going into Philly, just a hospitable environment. Those fans, I hate those fucking fans, man.
I will be honest. I took a Scary Terry touchdown, and I took a Saquon touchdown, and I had Washington winning, and I immediately cashed out when it was. I placed a $20 bet to win $210, and it was $32 profit when it was 14-12, and I immediately cashed out. I was like, no, there's no way.
I was pissed. So I had Saquon anytime, which is a lock now. I had Terry McLaurin 60 yards and Jane Daniels, I think it was 225. And it all hit. Just McLaurin had 51. And by the end of the game, just, the amount of turnovers the Commanders had, the amount of drop balls, the amount of fumbles, like Austin Eckler, Dwami Brown, where the fuck that receiver's name is. They're just shooting themselves in the foot, man. It was troubling to watch. And I was like, you guys are in this game. You're in this. You can score. But you are just shooting yourselves in the foot at the worst times.
The turning point of the game was when they fumbled that ball on the kickoff right before, like you have a 2-minute drill right before the halftime. You have 2-minute drill. You know the Eagles are getting the ball back, so you were taking away the chance to double dip, and the guy fumbles the ball, and now the Eagles can definitely double dip, and it's like, all right, well, that's like game. The Commanders for their season, for what they had as a team, that's the success of a season. That's 100% a success of 100%. A season.
Making the playoffs alone was just a success. Going to the NFC Championship.
I think the over-under on their games won this year was like 6 or 7.
They won what, 12?
Yeah, they were like 12-5.
Yeah.
You know, like, and Hurts played well, but God, he freaks me out, man. Like, he played really well.
Yeah.
I really, yeah. Like, I think he played probably his fullest game yet.
I think he definitely played a lot better this week than the Rams last week. He had some good kind of scrambling, made some good throws to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was definitely more involved. A.J. Brown also pisses me off recently, too. He's just a cocky bastard. And he had like 2 catches, dude. Like, stop. Him and Marshawn Lattimore were going at it, but A.J. Brown's kind of starting to piss me off.
You know what pisses me off, too? The NFL is so, first of all, tush push. This rattled my brain. The guy jumps offside 3 times, right?
It's so funny.
Jumps offside 3 times. Trying to time the snap perfectly. I respect the effort. The ref then says out loud to the stadium and to the entire national broadcast, number 4 has now been warned if he tries to do this again, or knows if the Commanders' defense keep doing this, then the refs are allowed to award a touchdown to the Eagles. I was like, let's take a timeout. Let's take a timeout. Give me Roger Goodell on the fucking phone. No. It's a ridiculous play. First of all, like the tush push, yes. 100% amazing play. Good for you, brotherly shove. Go fuck yourself. First of all. Second of all, like, award him a touchdown for a guy trying to time the snap. And yes, what the Eagles were doing was smart and putting it on 2. And it's like the ball couldn't get any closer to the end zone.
It was like half a foot. It was like that far.
It was like, man, the ball, they're going to get in. Don't just go out and say, oh, yeah, we can award a touchdown. I don't give a fuck what the rule book says. That should not be a rule. I don't care.
Yeah.
Let them jump off. If they keep jumping off sides, then it's a 15-yard penalty and it's a reset of downs. Now you have them first and goal with literally 1 fucking inch to go. And yes, they're 100% going to score. In no way, shape, or form, in my opinion, should a ref be like, oh, yeah, we can award a touchdown because the defense keeps jumping offside. Yeah, that's an entirely, like, almost impossible play to stop. I think the statistics show that around, like, fucking 80 to 90%, that play works. So defenses have to come up with a different way of stopping. And the guy on the Commanders, I think his name is Luvu or something, jumps over the line, tries his best Troy Polamalu fucking impression. And it's like,
I was going to say Troy.
Respect the effort. Like, fuck. I don't know.
I don't know if it's a horrible analogy to hockey. It's like, hey, if you keep penalizing them, we're just going to award them the goal because you guys just keep taking penalties. It's like, no, they're doing what they're allowed, or I guess not allowed to do, but it's I thought
a better
even the
analogy
announcement
would
was
be
stupid.
like in the NBA, everyone knows when it gets down and a team's losing by like 2 points or whatever, they're gonna foul, and then you get free throws. So it's
Right.
like instead of making them do free throws, you're just gonna give them 2 free baskets. Like no,
Yeah.
this is the whole point.
All right, so Eagles going to their second Super Bowl in 3 years. Now on to the AFC Championship, which we can joke about it, but it's truly heart wrenching. It's similar how some people earlier. It's similar to like the Leafs and Bruins, just a team that you think you're getting your team got better every single time they've played. Like I think every time the Leafs have played the Bruins, their team has gotten better and their chances have gotten better. I think it's the same thing with the Bills. First time they played, it just gone. Their chances to me has gone better and better, and this year would have been the best year to beat them. And they lost 32-29. Mahomes, last few games, like I said, didn't look phenomenal. I think he looked great last game. 2 rushing touchdowns. I'll let you take the floor from here.
Listen, let me tell you, I've never been through so many emotions. 13 seconds wasn't this bad. I'm gonna go on record and say that 13 seconds was not this bad. The defense was horrible. For Sean McDermott to be a defensive-minded head coach and not go, hey, Bobby Babich, what the fuck are you doing? Patrick Mahomes scores 2 rushing touchdowns. He's not that good. He's really good. But 2 rushing touchdowns, one was from fucking 10 yards away. Like, sorry, I should not have said Patrick Mahomes is not that good. That's false on me. That's emotions coming out. Clip it, put it out, post it. But there's so many things to talk about. First of all, defense sucks. Defense sucked. Horrible. Christian Benford getting a concussion. I didn't think he should have even played in the game, let alone whatever. But, like, horrible. As soon as Kyer Elam came in, I texted you and you texted me, and it was horrible. Like, Kyer Elam was a first-round draft pick. First-round draft pick out of Florida, and I was singing his praises. I said to my dad, I was like, I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be really good. He got awful.
Also, holdings he did, amount of times he just got burnt. They did like a drag route or whatever, like a Worthy across the middle, and they pan like, where's Elam? And he was like 10 yards behind Worthy.
Dude.
Worthy is like the fastest guy in the NFL, but like still, like his coverage was absolutely horrendous.
So first half, we get a 3 and out, very first possession. I was like, okay, not good. They go down, score. All right, whatever. A few things happen, and then we get the fumble and make it 10-7. I was like, all right, sweet. It's 14-10, whatever. 21-10, and a little worried. Then we go down, and Mac Hollins just decides to reach into his bag of tricks and pull off a absolute gross one-handed grab.
Love Mac Hollins, dude.
Dude, if the Bills don't re-sign him,
they better re-sign him.
For real, I will go and sit outside of Orchard Park with a fire Terry Pagula.
He won't cost a lot, or he won't cost too much either. Give him.
You can sign him to like a 2. You can sign him to a 2-year extension. Not even. Yeah. You could even sign him to a 1-year extension. I think he wants to stay in Buffalo.
For sure, he does.
You could easily sign him. The only problem is other teams are going to see him now, and his market value has gone through the roof.
Yeah,
like through the roof. So
big time plays that he's made has been unbelievable.
But at the end, like Josh did everything. I understand going for 2 there completely get it. I respected the decision. I didn't love just the commitment to the fucking tush push. Like, fuck off.
Was that a first down?
When you have Gene Steratore, Tony Romo, who is a fucking imbecile, but then they go down and they break down watching the ref. This is what pisses me off about the NFL.
Oh, the angles
they
of the
will
refs
break down what the refs doing it. The one ref is coming in way past the line to gain. The other ref is coming in kind of on the other side of it. Then the ref on this side is like, oh, let me just fucking move back 3 feet. And it's like, how in your right mind? First of all, let's talk about the Xavier Worthy catch. Like, that's not a fucking catch. It's not a catch.
That's going to go down as like the Des Bryant versus the Packers, was it a catch or whatever.
Well,
dude, so they had it. So they looked like, I don't know who the corner or safety was. Cole Bishop. So they both had it going down. Then the ball hit the ground. If you have full possession, the ball can hit the ground and that play's dead. But there's no way you can tell me that Xavier Worthy at that point had full possession of the ball when that was going down. It's complete bullshit. And they said, it's like, oh, it's too, not, it's like, oh, it's not too much to overturn it. Like, yes, it is. The ball hit the ground. No one didn't have possession.
Dude,
What do you mean?
this is my problem with the NFL. Like, as well. Yes, if say they overturn it, it's only a 5-yard penalty because there's defensive holding. So now it's a 1st and 10 at the 20, and you still have a chance to hold them to a field goal. Changes the entire outcome of the game. Whatever, say the Chiefs do score, whatever. But for them to sit there, replay it 7 times on a national broadcast, and then be like, stands. Like, and yes, this game is going to get blown out of the water for NFL officiating because it's the Bills versus the Chiefs, and everyone thinks that the fucking refs are favored towards the Chiefs. But those 2 calls alone, that first down, first of all, it has to go back to New York, which, if you look, there is no way that's not a first down.
Every single angle they drew lines, they did everything, and his body's across that line. I don't care how much it is. Because you don't have, the ball doesn't have to fully, like, you can just touch it, right? I kind of...
The nose of the ball has to be across the plane of the yard to gain.
It's insane. It's insane. Like, literally every single person, even though I hate Tony Romo, he's right a lot of times, he was shocked that, the net analysis guy they always bring in was shocked. Like, it's just, there's no way in hell that's not a fucking first down. I don't, and again, it's just, who knows if the Chiefs would have scored, who knows if the Bills would have scored, who knows if this or that, but it changes the game so much, and then the Bills, they had so much momentum, oh my God, coming after that, and it was good on the Bills to come down and get that score with Curtis Samuel. I think it was like a 4th and 9 play, but still,
it was 4th and 3 at the goal line. It's just,
it's heartbreaking. It really is, and even I know we're just kind of picking. Go ahead.
I had to sit in the car with Taylor and just say I literally got up and I was like, I got up. There's a minute 30 left. I was like, let's go. We're going home. We were at my parents' house. I was like, we're going home. I can't be here. I don't want to be here. We need to go home. And then I was like, wait, we still got 3 timeouts. They still got to, get a first down. And it's just like,
they let a 35-year-old fucking running back, Piran, where the fuck his name is, just run to the outside.
Samaje Perine. Like, fuck me, man. Like, it's just, to be honest.
And again, yeah, go.
Sean McDermott. Like, I would not be. I don't know if it's him. At some point it's got to be him. This is his 7th or 8th year. Like, at some point it's got to be him. But yeah. I think at the end of the day, you need an offensive-minded head coach. You need someone who has an offensive mind. Andy Reid was dialing. He's destroying our defense. Dude. And then Steve Spagnuolo, the outside corner blitz, all-out blitz on fucking 4th and 5 to seal the game.
That was genius. Those 2 together is fucking nuts. And again, I was gonna say, like, even I know we're kind of picking on the refs here, but also it was that one punt return where I think I saw like 5 pushes in the back, and then they gained like 50 or 40 yards, and then I can't remember what happened in that drive, but it's just, again, we're just kind of making excuses. But also at the end of the day, Allen had 3:30 left, 2 timeouts, legacy drive, and I don't much see on Allen. I think seeing his press conference almost made me cry. Like, it was so heartbreaking for him. But that was his legacy drive, and fuck, dude, I truly thought Kincaid caught that ball.
You got to do more, and like, you have 3 minutes, you have 3 timeouts. Like, run the ball. Use James Cook.
He was dominating the whole game. When that one drive, they ran the ball like 90% of the play. It was like a 6-7 minute drive. And he ran down his throw, and then I think James Cook had the nicest touchdown flex I've ever seen.
Insane. Like, it's just credit to the Chiefs. They played great. I fucking can't stand Travis Kelce. Like, that
pissing me off.
Flag we got on Quentin Jefferson. Xavier Worthy scores a touchdown. Travis Kelce gets up in DeMar Hamlin's face and starts yelling at him, which, fair enough. Fair is fair. Play your game. And then it gets to a point where you're like, okay, it's been 5, 10, 15 seconds, and you're like, all right, fucking cut it off, bud. Yes, playoffs, tensions are on high, whatever. And then Quentin Jefferson comes in and, like, pushes him, and Travis Kelce, and it's like, yeah, of course you're going to sell it, and people will come at me and be like, oh, Josh Allen, fucking biggest flopper of all time. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, Travis Kelce, fuck off. For real. It's so stupid that you call that penalty, like, you can't just call it on one person. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just they need to go out. They need to go out. They need to draft a D lineman interior. They need to get safety help. They need to do a lot to help the defense because the offense is not the problem. We put up 29. Josh Allen, basically, we go up, tie 29-29, hold the Chiefs to a field goal. Yes, Josh Allen should have driven down the field, iced the game, whatever. But at some point in that game, the tide turned where you're like, we should run away with this.
Yeah.
We need big stops on defense, and we need to run away with this. And the end of the football is a 3-team game. You need special teams, you need defense, and you need offense. To be honest, like Tyler Bass, no problems. Amazing field goals.
None.
The 54-yarder, amazing.
Clutch.
Huge for momentum. But it's just like Milano played okay. He had that one really good sack on.
Yeah.
But Bernard wasn't really a factor. Fucking like Rasul Douglas, to be quite honest, like I'm kind of done with him. Like we need good corners. We need Benford to be healthy and go out and get some safeties. Like not having Taylor Rapp in this game hurt us tremendously. And unfortunately, like Cole Bishop's just his first year. Like I think Cole Bishop's going to be a star, but it's tough. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm just still staying off social media and not looking at anything fucking to do with the Bills. I can't watch Josh Allen's press conference because it will actually make me cry.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I can't listen to Sean McDermott talk. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep going. I can't fucking... You know what? Fuck it. Fire Sean McDermott. Fire him. I'm done.
I think there's a good chance he gets fired. I don't know who you bring in. I don't know who the candidates are. Like, obviously Mike McCarthy, but I don't know if I want Mike McCarthy.
I don't really want Mike McCarthy. There's no one now. In a perfect world, the Bills would have got Vrabel, but Vrabel's never going to the Bills.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. Again, we have some bit to talk about the Super Bowl. We'll take a break from that. I mean, it's going to be Eagles-Chiefs. Same thing as the rematch from 2 years ago. No point talking about it now. Eagles have some injuries, but we'll talk about the Super Bowl at a later time. Even if maybe not if Jackson doesn't want to, we'll see.
Yeah, my dad was like, we were talking before the game, and he was like, well, what if it is the Chiefs and Eagles? And I was like, you know what I would love if it's the Chiefs and Eagles? I'd love it to go to 7 overtimes, and then Roger Goodell comes out in the middle of the field and says, sorry, folks, there is no Super Bowl winner this year. But I'll tell you right now, I took an early future on the Bills to win the Super Bowl in 2026.
Did you though? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Baby.
Yeah. All right, so that's what we got here. Let's just finish up with some golf here. Farmers Insurance. We were watching it at work. Like Ludwig Alberg was like 6 under in his first day. Then he just fell off. He was 7 over on the final day.
What it is with him? Like the only time I've seen him play exceptional golf was the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And he played exceptionally well. But I think it may just be like the newness to the PGA Tour because this is only his second year.
Mm-hmm.
But just you gotta finish, man. And golf's grueling, especially. I was listening to Spit and Chicklets, and Whit was saying I think it was not the Farmers, but the one before the Farmers. The final round took 5.5 hours.
My God, yeah, it was insane.
Through 3.5 hours, or 3.5 hours in, the leaders were through 11 holes. Dude, if I'm on a golf course, 3.5 hours in, mind you, I'm not playing for fucking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But I'm either absolutely hammered or I'm driving my car to go home. That's ridiculous. They have to include some sort of shot clock, especially for these slower players, man. There is such funny videos of someone, I think it's Koepka, playing an entire hole before Brian Harman actually hits his ball. Brian Harman, he's won a major. He's a great golfer. But lefty. Dude, waggle your club more. The ball's going to go. You're a professional golfer. You know where the ball's going. Yes, millions of dollars on the line. How many times have you swung a golf club?
Yeah.
Infinite. Fuck off and hit the golf ball.
Yeah, so Harry English won. I think he was like 72nd in the world. So not a ton of big names. I mean, Homa, Day, Lowry, Finau, Sahith, Ludwig, obviously, but big elevated event just coming this weekend. We got the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, $20 million purse for that Pro-Am. The return of Scotty. We'll see how he does. I mean, whenever he's back, I'll put any money I want on him. I don't care how hurt he is.
His injury is the funniest. He fucking got glass in his hand, had to get surgery, and we were sitting talking about it yesterday with my brother, and my brother was like, "Did you hear the report that came out?" We were like, "No," and he's like, "Apparently he's making ravioli and some glass exploded." I was like, "Kevin, shut the fuck up. That's not true."
It's a ton of big names in this. Again, Sahith, Rory's first event of the year, Jason Day, Hovland, Morikawa, Rose, Canadian Dunlap, Spieth, Wyndham, Fitzpatrick, Fleetwood. So we're gonna start doing this because obviously football's dying down, and we both love golf. We're gonna do a 3-player draft for each tournament, and we're gonna keep a record throughout the year. Maybe we'll have a little prize at the end of it. We'll kind of figure that is. I think we should do 3.
How are we gonna do it with 3-player draft? Are we gonna say a player? How about we say a player gets a point, or you get a point if a player finishes like top 20. Player finishes top 15, it's 2 points, and then top 10.
Yeah,
like
we'll do that.
Top 10 would be like 3 points.
Yeah, we can do that. And again, we'll do. I think 3 players is fine. I don't think we need to do more than 3. We'll take turns going first each week. I'm gonna give you the nod to get the first pick. It's rough goings over there at the Dick House, so I'm gonna let you have the first pick for the first one of the elevated events of the year. That's the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Who do you got?
You know what?
I think Scotty, but with the injury, you just don't know if he's gonna shoot 6 under every day like he usually does.
Yeah, I like Scotty a lot, but I think give me. This is tough. Hovland's a bad pick first. I think I'm gonna go
Wyndham Clark.
That's probably a horrible first pick, but
no, I don't hate it. I'm gonna go Morikawa.
All right, I'll take Scotty.
I'm gonna go Rory.
All right, give me fucking.
If you would have had both of him, I would have lost my fucking mind.
All right, give me Spieth.
I want his Spieth so bad. He dominates at Pebble Beach.
All right, wait. Let me make sure we got this. So I got Wyndham and Scotty and Spieth, and
Fuck.
you got
Rory.
Rory and number 3, sir.
You know what? Give me Fitzpatrick. I was between Fitzpatrick and Sahith because Sahith's definitely played more. He's played in every tournament this year, and I don't know if Fitzpatrick. I think it's like his first event of the year. I'm not too positive, but yeah. I mean,
Corey Connors has got to be in this field, no?
I'm not sure. I only know Dunlap, but
If Dunlap's in it, I feel like Corey's got to be in it.
I feel like he probably is on it.
I would hope.
All right, we're wrapping up here. Should we go through our locks of the week?
Yes, sir.
So we're 1-1, both of us, which again is a complete shock for the boys here, but we're not surprised. Are we surprised? Nope. Never surprised with that.
It's not going to be a fucking lock this week, let me tell you.
So I just have, I mean, the games have already started for me. I just, again, no football, so I just bet on hockey for tonight. I'll just log in here.
Yeah, I took fucking...
Here, I'll start it here. Okay, so I just have a 3-leg parlay. I got the Nucks over the Blues. Big win against Washington. I think they're a ride out against St. Louis, who kind of struggling. I have Detroit versus LA. That's kind of an underdog, plus 125. LA is up 1-0. LA is buzzing, but I'm confident Detroit coming back. And then I thought this was a lock. I have the Devils versus the Flyers. The Flyers are up 2-0. Their whole team is sick. They've lost a few games in a row, and Devils are buzzing, but the Flyers are up 2-0. So that's kind of my bet right now. But we ride. Don't want you about that.
We'll ride. All right, my lock is not quite extensive. I got the Oilers over the Kraken, Leon 3 shots on goal, and Leon anytime.
Okay.
It's not crazy, but...
All right. I like it. All right, are you ready for the... Actually, we'll go penalty box. Then we like to end with the bet the farm. Penalty box, I think I started last week. I said Jimmy Butler. This week, penalty box, we kind of mentioned his name earlier. Fucking Tony Romo. He pisses me the fuck off, which makes it worse because he's right almost all of it. He's like right 99% of the time. But what pisses me off the most is he wants you to know he's right. He wants you to know how smart he is. Like when Benford got hurt and fucking Elam came in, he's like, I don't know, Jim. I don't know. Like it's this. I've watched this entire game. The Chiefs are gonna win if Elam's gonna play the whole game. And yeah, was he right? Yes. Just it pisses me off how much he wants to be right and how much he reminds Jim Nantz, who I love Jim Nantz, who just fuck off. I understand how smart you are. I understand you're a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I understand you've called these big games. I know Patrick Mahomes is a top quarterback in the league. I understand how many Super Bowls he has. Fuck off. Tell a game. I like the play calling. I like when he's like, oh, the weak side blitz here. I like that stuff. But I don't want to hear, it's like, oh, I was right there again, Jim. Like fuck off. You're in the penalty box. Sit the fuck down. I'll see you next season.
I'm going NFL refs. And I don't need to explain it. Fuck the NFL. Fuck the refs. Go suck a fat one. For real, all you want is the Chiefs. You want Patrick Mahomes to be better than Tom Brady. I saw fucking Stephen A. Smith saying that if Patrick Mahomes does a three-peat, he's arguably the best quarterback ever. Sorry, he'll still be three rings short of Tom Brady. He'll still not have done it on two teams. You can never say someone's better than Tom Brady until they do what Tom Brady did.
He's 28. Like, relax. Like, he's definitely up there, but he's 28. Like,
he's 28.
Off being already the best.
Also, stop naming your kids after fucking elements on the periodic table.
What's his new kid's name?
Well, his one kid is Patrick Mahomes the third or whatever, and they call him Bronze. His other kid is Sterling. He just had a third kid. His name's probably fucking Silver or Gold. Like, go fuck yourself. Fuck.
All right. So that's our penalty box, you know, and we're almost...
Don't need to go after his kids. I really don't need to go after his kids, but, well, maybe not the kids, but Patrick, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're going to end it here with my favorite segment, Betting the Farm. Shocker, and this may come as a surprise to many of you. My Bet the Farm last week did not hit. It was close. I think I got 7 out of 11. You know, the Abu Dhabi Dark Knights, they didn't pull one out for me there. So, or MI Dark, whatever the hell their name was. They didn't pull off a dub for me. But, yeah.
Oh my god. No, mine was close. I hit 7
Yours is really close.
I hit 7 out of 10. I would have got $1,000. I was fucking upset about that.
All right, so I'm going to kick us off here. I don't know if you have yours ready yet.
I'm currently making mine, and you are going to love it.
Okay, so I'll get us going here because I made mine at 10 a.m. this morning because I had nothing else to do.
Let's go. Working hours. Here we go.
Yep. So, 18-leg parlay. I got the Cavs beating the Pistons. Big favorites there. Shouldn't be surprised. I got the Pelicans beating the Raptors, minus 140. Got the Lakers beating the Hornets. Early payout already. Keep the fucking change. I got the Celtics beating the Houston Rockets. Easy money. I got the Knicks beating the Grizzlies. Orlando beating Miami. Jimmy Butler's got suspended again, you fucking fuck. So Magic will win that game. I got the Sacramento Kings beating the Brooklyn Nets, minus 700. Easy money there. I got the Oilers beating the Kraken. Easy money there. Penguins beating the Sharks. Easy money there. I have the Devils beating the Flyers. They are down 2-0, but don't you worry about my Devils there. They're going to win that. Now we're going over to EA Sports NBA basketball. I have the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Boston Celtics, which guess what? It already hit. I have the Minnesota Timberwolves, EA Sports, beating the New York Knicks, which they did, and they already hit. I have Little Rock basketball team beating Eastern Illinois. I have Bethune-Cookman beating Alcorn State back in college basketball as well. I have Troy beating Southern Miss, which they already did. Keep the change. I have Michigan beating Penn State, minus 425. And now we're heading over to Europe. Barcelona's going to beat Atalanta, minus 138. And then the bell of the ball, the only game of this entire one that I'm worried about, I guarantee the other ones, Slovan Bratislava is going to pull off the plus 4,000 upset against Bayern Munich. I promise it's going to happen. Keep the change. It's 20 cents to win $5,500 plus 270,000 odds. It's a steal in my opinion. That's betting the farm with your boy Ryan.
Dude, I'm betting the fucking pig pen compared to you.
Yeah, you're not betting the farm like I am. I'm actually betting the farm.
I need to start betting the farm. All right, I just finished mine. I'm out of sorts. You're gonna love this though. I got the Nuggets over the Bulls. I got the Timberwolves over the Hawks. I got the Mavericks over the Wizards. So those are all favorites. It's fine. I took Bethune-Cookman over Alcorn, just like you. I took Michigan over Penn State college basketball.
Yep.
Houston Christian versus Southeast Louisiana. Currently on 21-15. We got Boston University over Holy Cross, currently up 31-26.
Like it.
Are we done there? No. Had to go back to the roots of Insight Pest Solutions. Hit them with Jakub Grzorczyk, ping pong. Marcin Kowalczyk, ping pong. Jan Zendecki, ping pong.
My God.
Plus 12,000 odds, $5 bet to pull out 620. Did not bet the farm. Bet the hen house, but that's okay. I respect it.
I didn't know though. I didn't know those ping pong matches were on, man. That's big.
Let me tell you, if anyone should be betting on ping pong, it's not me. We keep forgetting to mention it. Final record, put it in the Hall of Fame. I believe Ryan was 121 to 13. 122 to 13.
But yeah, I mean, we forgot to mention it. We mentioned the record last time. I don't like to rub it in his face. I kind of just, I like to stay humble, keep it in the shadows. But with Jackson leaving work kind of suddenly, kind of leaving us in the dusk, I was like, yo, man, I gotta win this for Insight. I gotta beat him.
Ugh.
I gotta beat him badly, and I did really good. And
put me in the dirt.
So 122 to 13, 122 to 13. That was the final score of us. It's in the Hall of Fame, and yeah, that's the last ping pong game we'll ever play.
Last one ever.
All right, but it's definitely a depressing episode, but things will get better. I promise you that.
Trying.
And yeah, at least 2 big wins, hopefully against Minnesota and Tampa. And we'll talk next week. What sucks?
Before we go, I love the Leafs. Maybe not as much as you. I love the Bills probably as much as you love the Leafs.
Yeah,
the shitty thing about this time of year, when Buffalo loses in the playoffs, the only thing I have to turn to is the Toronto fucking Maple Leafs. And let me tell you, it doesn't hurt as bad, but it stings. And it just reminds me that I will never see one of my teams win a championship. I've been to Hamilton, throw it back to the CFL. Watch the Ticats play in a Grey Cup. Watch them lose in overtime. Watch the Ticats play in a Grey Cup in like 2014. Watch Henry Burris fumble the ball. Watch the Leafs lose first round, second round, first round. Watch the Bills lose divisional, AFC. The only thing I'm happy about... We'll get better,
Jackson, I promise.
I debated on wearing the Hayden Huskies jersey because you want to know who took them to a goddamn championship this year and won? This guy.
That's what you did. That's what you brought. That's what you brought to the program.
Respectfully put up 41. Anyway.
Yeah, so thanks for helping us end the podcast on a good note, Jackson. Thanks for that. Things will get better, most likely not. I love you. We'll talk to you next week. Hopefully we have a 2-0 Leafs record for this week that we can talk about, and hopefully we have an exciting Pebble Beach, but I'm actually very excited for. I'm going to watch that all weekend.
Sir, me too.
See you next time.
Cheers, brother.
Fakes left, now taken off.